With the evolution we have witnessed in recent years when it comes to enterprise technology, it is difficult to keep up. In this episode of FDE TV, we come to the HR Tech World event in London to speak with the top solution providers of the HR technologies.
For me, HR tech is around consolidation, innovation, and speed.
It's incredibly powerful and it's incredibly social.
Engaging, interesting, and future-looking.
Energized, innovative, and digital.
Exciting, innovative, and hopefully very rewarding.
Talent management is essential for the strategic execution of the company's goals. Companies want to grow and prosper within very competitive markets. And it becomes more and more important to take really good care of the most important asset, which is human skills and human resources.
The main reason is, I guess, centered in payroll. So people who have got either a UK or a global payroll need, but then looking to then really optimize their workforce. So that can be things like time and attendance and working out how to schedule employees so they can be fully optimized, particularly in the UK right now with the living wage. That's like really important because people are seeing an increased wage bill, and these are ways to actually maximize the value of your workforce.
I mean, organizations are all about trying to grow their talent base. And our software helps them to understand their talent base, helps them to engage with their employees better, and helps them to plan for their future.
Our product is so flexible. What it means is for multinationals, each country can have a different process and a different data set, and that is really critical rather than imposing a one-size-fits-all.
Organizations that are wanting to go through some form of transformation, they need to have tools to help them. If you think about our consumers nowadays use technology for everything, and that's now permeating into the business world as well. You can't have a situation where people are using mobile devices, tablet devices, really intuitive systems when they're at home, and yet when they come into work, they don't work. You can't manage your talent without having those type of capabilities.
Many organizations are looking today at transforming the way we do HR. That's why they approach us, because technology is the main enabler to get them to the desired future stage they want to get.
We're seeing a massive shift in the market in terms of the quantities of data out there. Obviously everyone's bantering on about big data. They have massive amounts of siloed data, but they're not 100% sure how to use it, how to utilize it in the business. What we give them the ability is for non-technical users to be able to make sense of that data, to be able to analyze it and gain insight and then create action off the back of it.
Organizations use us because what they're using, why they need us is what they're doing is using analytics to get a better understanding of what's actually going on within the organization. So if you've ever seen the movie Moneyball, Moneyball is really interesting because what it does is it allows people to use analytics to make not so obvious connection points as to what's really going on with teams and with groups. We do the same sort of thing, basically by understanding the social network and how that social network operates. What we're able to do is give companies a set of insights that they're able to utilize to make them more competitive.
We don't only speak with HR directors, but also with finance directors. This is a historic evolution. So in the past, clearly talent management solutions were more in the remit of HR, but nowadays, due to more strategic importance of talent management, this is a serious issue also for finance, for the CFO, because it doesn't only have budget constraints or implications, but also an impact on the company's future performance, and therefore needs to be assessed by the right authorities within the company.
It's a real mix actually here at Ceridian because we basically attract organizations that are businesses looking for HR-based systems, but also payroll is a real core strength of Ceridian. So that tends to either report through into a finance director or into the HR director. So we tend to work with both of those senior positions within organizations.
I would say that the majority of our clients are HR directors or HR executives within that same space. Global talent officers. A lot of organizations now have someone in HR that just focuses on performance management, on talent management, compensation. So oftentimes, depending on the size of the organization, there are specialists within those organizations.
There's definitely a dialogue between HR and finance about how to best to manage cost center changes. Where do you get headcount data if you're the CEO? Do you rely on cost, salary cost from finance, or should you rely on HR? So it's important that the answers to the CEO are the same. So HR and finance have got to talk together.
Typically, we do talk to HR teams, but we're also working more so with the finance teams, so the lines of business as well. The lines of business are the ones who are really understanding that maintaining and managing talent is an important part of their overall competitiveness. We work collaboratively with both the finance teams or the lines of business teams as well as the HR functions themselves.
I think if you just operate within an individual silo, then you're doing the organisation a disservice. The way I think about it is a bit like an old-fashioned sprung mattress. You know, you press down on one part of the business and you get ripples going throughout the business. You have to have an independency between HR and finance. If you just think about approvals, if you think about expenses, everything's associated with cost. People is typically about 50% of the cost of an organisation. And if you can leverage that more effectively, that's really important in terms of driving productivity, and that's at the top of the agenda for most finance directors that I know.
Our number one go-to customer is HR, but in many companies, finance is also owning the function. We think, and not only because they own the function, it's because also it's HR is everybody's topic, right? So many customers, what I say is it's not only an HR topic, it's actually the executive management team plus the CEO is on the agenda of driving HR. So more recurrently, we're seeing CFOs as well stepping in. On one hand, for obvious reason, is the business case of what we're going to drive this transformation. So the CFO has a big say into that. And actually, we need to get the buy-in to support the move forward with the HR.
We do talk to HR a lot, but also we're seeing finance and other departments getting much more involved around analytics. I think it's because of that shift, as I mentioned, from just focusing on HR metrics to actually how can we help the business? How can we become more productive? How can we sell more? How can we increase our customer sat scores? And I think the shift is absolutely going from starting at HR, but it's drifting out now to finance, it's drifting out to sales, it's drifting out to marketing. How can they be more effective at what they've got? But ultimately, it all links back to HR.
Digital is just where you need to be. It's the ability to track and take things out of paper and into a format that has longevity, that has interactivity, is just critical for HR today.
The meaning of digital for me is a new way of interacting, communicating, using resources, collaborating and sharing information.
Digital to me actually at the enterprise level means actually understanding everything that's going on and all the touch points that either a customer or individuals within the organization have with one another. So it's the true social graph of the organization, the true interactivity of the organization.
Digital is a way in which, or a window in which we can interact with our internal and external stakeholders, but it's driven by a personalized experience, and that's driven by data to make sure that experience is relevant for that individual.
For myself, digital means new ways of doing things in a more effective and efficient way.
Digital's about actually really fully engaging with companies' colleagues. So it's about giving them the technology that makes sense for them. So that's about going on mobile, that's about being able to give access on multiple devices so people can actually fully interact, much as they can do at home on Facebook and Twitter. It's about giving that same experience to employees within the workplace.
The user interface has got to be easy, it's got to be intuitive, and we should be moving away from things like reporting into a product that enables managers to interact. And really that's where digital should be going.
It's about taking some of the advantages that technology offers us in terms of mobile enablement, collaboration tools, providing a completely different range of experiences to our employees. We see lots of examples that people talk about how businesses have been transformed Uber and Airbnb are the examples that people allude to most commonly, but technology enables businesses, internally within businesses, to transform just as much, and we should really take advantage of that, and I think this is what some of we're seeing today.
So as expected, digital is very high up on the agenda of international enterprises. What today also showed us is that the need for collaboration between finance and HR departments is becoming increasingly important.